Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats, kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As a show note, my entire Streamlabs, all of my setups, all my scenes, all my everything bricked like 5 minutes before we were going online. So I re-imaged and put them back together as best as I could. If I miss something, sorry, you're gonna have to tolerate us tonight. The podcast is your home for rational crypto news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door, talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. We are telling you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is our only speed. I'm your host, Scott, pragmatic investor who has won and lost fortunes. Joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time, the one, the only, the original, the red-headed Belle. How are you doing tonight, Belle?
It's been kind of a chaotic day on this end, Scott. How are you this evening?
It's endless. It's just the endless stuff that you get over here with Twitter and with Twitter and social media and all that other stuff. So I will speak of this a little bit tonight as we get into it. Little tip: I tweaked the audio a little bit better. I think maybe I don't know. It's probably still got some of that hollow sound. Again, this is audio is physics. And there's only so much you can do against brick walls, man. So until we get the acoustic paneling hung up on here, it's always going to have, but we are tweaking it in a little bit. This is very important that I make this work for the other thing that we're doing. And the other thing that we're doing, I imagine that you saw some of the graphics that I whipped up today, and that's the other thing that we're doing. So we simply can't have microphones. We can't have microphones on there. It's going to brick it. I do not like lapel mics. They're okay, and if we have to go, I mean I'm all set up. We got them. And if I have to go with lapel mics, we go with lapel mics, but that's not really my personal preference. I'd much rather use overhead mics than have any more wires strapped all over us every time that we go live. So I'm doing what I can right now, but I want you to envision this. If this was being shot like inside of a castle, inside of an anteroom or something like that in a castle, if that sound is reasonable enough. We're tiptoeing around kayfabe with all of this. I mean, big. So we're trying to, trying to pull it in a little bit and see what we can do, see how good we can do without me having to lay out another $1,500 for matched overhead microphones, because I really don't want to do that. So if you could give us some thumbs down, thumbs up, thumbs down on the sound. If it's not working for you, please tell me how it's not working for you. I can literally tweak on the fly. It's an overhead mic. It'll sound like I'm walking away from it, but you'll still hear me. So I don't have to dump this on Belle and tell her to take her shirt off and entertain you guys while I work it out. I can just keep battling. You just won't see anybody sitting on the stage. So yeah, I would appreciate it. All right, how to successfully do crypto. I'm gonna show you guys something that really we should have all been doing. It was actually Joe that kind of turned me on to this, because I never really thought that it was working accurately enough. But Joe turned me on to this, and we went up and down his spreadsheet, and we were kind of going over some of these, and it seems like it's dead on. So here's what I want you to do, Belle. Belle's going to teach you how to do crypto right now. Belle, I want you to go to Grok. You got Twitter open?
No, I don't have Twitter open at the moment.
Okay, can you open Twitter, please?
Ugh.
She's going to open Twitter, and I'm going to teach you guys how to crypto in the modern world. This is actually fascinating. I mean, fascinating. So when she gets it up, I'm going to tell her to ask Grok a question. She's going to read you the response. I'm going to tell Grok ask her to tell Grok another question. She's going to read the response. And I've already fact checked all of this. It's dead on. I'm literally moving money around because of what Grok is telling me. But it's absolutely fascinating. So whenever you're ready, Belle.
All right, what's the question?
All right. Ask Grok, how has Aave, that's AAVE, been performing over the last 90 days? Fascinating. Watch this. Because I tried this for about 3 different ones and actually found where I should be keeping my steady money. And it's in all of these strings, and it's in all of these pools. She's going to tell you all about it here in just a second. You got it?
All right, it says over the last 90 days, Aave has shown strong performance in terms of price, market activity, and protocol metrics based on available data. Price movement as of June 1st, 2025. Ave's price was approximately $247.78 USD, with a 7.3 increase in the last 24 hours.
Okay. And over the last 90 days, and I'm pretty sure it'll tell because you asked it that specific question, you're going to see that it's up about 39%. Is that correct? Yep.
Sorry.
No.
Historical context. Ave's price is currently 59.2% below its all-time high of 670 May 18th, 2021, but has risen significantly from its all-time low, showing a 938.1% increase from its lowest price.
But I'm most curious about how it's performed the last 90 days.
I'm
Yep.
still
I
scanning.
know it gives you buckets of information.
It literally, it wrote me a book.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm still scanning here, guys.
Nope, and you're allowed to do. This is a crypto show. We don't have to be on point.
Wow, way to dig. Thank you.
No, I'm just saying, that's not even a dig. Our production is so far beyond everybody else's, yet we can't put anybody in the seat. So production really doesn't matter.
Ave has performed robustly over the last 90 days with significant price gains, approximately 52.47% over the last month, high trading volumes, and a record-breaking TBL of 25.1 billion.
Okay, now type into Grok and say, what are the best liquidity pools I can get into to pair with Aave? It's fascinating, guys. That's it. I mean, as far as the whole do your own research, I let AI do it for me. It's cool. I can fact check anything that seems sketchy in AI. It's easy enough for me to fact check. But I moved an awful lot of money based on this over the last 3 days because
and new types chime in and saying Ave is up 74% over the past 60 days. Well, I was looking at 90 new type.
We're looking at 90, dude. I'm not looking for short-term fluctuations. I'm looking for trends. Trends are 90 days. Overnights are memes. So I really don't care about them. I disregard them. I'm not a FOMO kind of guy. So I just jump in when it looks good and I jump out when it looks bad. But I'm looking for things that have been more or less steady. So now that I know that Aave has performed wildly over the last 90 days, that seems to be a trend. Now, am I buying the top? In this case, I really don't care. What I need to do, the additional part of my do my own research is what's going to hammer the price, what's going to bring it down. So I've been looking at long-term statistics, meaning how steady have these liquidity pools been, how much action has been coming in and out of them. Because if you catch a liquidity pool with that wild fluctuations, odds are good people are getting in, harvesting, and dumping token or moving tokens or getting out of that token, and you're going to be the one left holding it. So I need to put my own numbers together and figure out, is the yield that I'm going to earn on this going to outpace the inflation of the token as well as the volatility of the token? Now, Aave obviously is a big dog, man. We're talking about top 20s in here. So that's where I've been looking. That's where the market seems to suggest I should be looking. And that's exactly what I've been doing. Cosmos is dead. All right. I don't waste any more time looking at this stuff. It is dead. And even though I am the official voice of the cosmos, another round of applause there, there's nothing to talk about over here, man. Nothing. So I need to keep my active money working the best I can. Now, Bell, you asked it about liquidity pools. So let's look at it from two different versions. I want to know the best deal I can get pairing Aave with a stable token, USD, USDC, UST, whatever I can get. And I want to know the best yield I can get on Aave pairing it with Bitcoin. That one is my most important thing. What did Grok say?
Well, you know what? Grok listed one first. So I'm going to read them in order.
Take it.
All right. So number one for the best liquidity pools to pair with Aave lending pools, direct participation. Stablecoin supply for APYs on Aave's Ethereum network averaged 5 to 10% over the past year, while borrowing APRs were higher.
Yep.
About 5.1% for Ethereum collateralized loans.
Yep.
Why pair with Aave? This is the most direct way to leverage Aave's ecosystem. You can earn competitive annual percentage yields, APYs, especially on stablecoins, about 5 to 10% APY on USDC DAI as of mid-2024. Aave's TVL of over 25.1 billion as of May 2025 reflects strong liquidity and reliability. You do have, let's see, stablecoins, USDC, DAI, USDT, lower risk or volatile assets, Ethereum and Bitcoin for higher potential returns.
What can I get with Bitcoin? You can also re-ask the question, just ask it directly. What is the best Aave Bitcoin liquidity pool I can jump in that has the highest yield?
Well, okay, so far on, yeah, again, it's saying the 5 to 10. Well, that's the 5 to 10% APY on USDC DAI. Yep.
Because pairing it with Bitcoin, you have increased volatility, so you're going to expect a better APY, APR, APY out of it. So I'm just wondering who's got the best one.
It's actually not giving me an APY on Bitcoin on that question. Now, it does say it doesn't give me a whole lot of specific lending pools relating to Aave lending pools.
Yeah, and I don't do lending, so that doesn't really apply to me anyway.
Uniswap, so Aave ETH or Aave USDC pairs. So those are listed as the best pairs on Uniswap. Deposit equal value of Aave and ETH or USDC into Uniswap's V3 pool, select a fee tier like 0.3% and receive LP tokens. Those can be staked on Aave for additional borrowing or lending opportunities. Aave ETH pools on that one can yield 5 or 10 to 50% APY depending on the trading volume and fee tiers, although they're subject to impermanent loss due to Aave's volatility.
Yeah, but you're swapping Aave for Ethereum or Ethereum for Aave, so I don't really care about the volatility on that.
Yep. Moving on to Balancer V3, Aave boosted pools. This one is a balancer pool routing 100% liquidity to Aave, can yield 15 to 25% APY on multi-token pools like Wrapped Ethereum DAI and BAL. So balancer tokens. Best pairs are Aave and Wrapped Ethereum, and stablecoin pools like USDC, DAI, and USDT, lower risk with their lending yields. There's like 5 different things to read through on
there's hundreds. Anything having to do with the top 20, they're all over the place. Now, the do your own research portion of all this is, Aave does it well. That's a big ecosystem. It's been well managed. They're buying back their own token. It always gets sticky when I hear that. Well, we're going to be injecting $50 million to buy back our own token. And yeah. That always gets a little sticky for me because I have to ask, okay, where's the money coming from? How are you buying back $50 million per month? Because that's what Aave said they were going to do. Where are you coming up with that $50 million per month? And they say, well, it's from protocol fees. And I'm like, okie dokie. But that being the case, you guys have a very large staff. So how are you paying the staff? It's all of these little sketchy crypto questions that always come into it. Now, as far as staying out of scandal, Aave's been pretty good about that. They don't really get into the weeds and try any of the silly shit that you see virtually anywhere else outside of the top 20. People are going to start queuing in on this pretty quick. And once they really start keying in on this pretty quick, then they're going to be coming up with simulated they're going to be coming up with simulated Aave and all that other stuff, saying that, yeah, we'll take your Aave and Ethereum and we're going to give you 148%, but we're going to pay you in our token. We're not going to pay you cash. We're simply going to pay you in our token, which is a very crypto thing to do because you can print the token endlessly. Your own token, you can just print that endlessly. You, as the liquidity host, can simply take the money that people are giving you. There, you're going to earn your 10 to 15 to 20% yield on it. That's going straight into your own treasury, and it's going in is very quality assets, and you're paying out everybody else out here in your worthless token. It's great if you're in early because then you can dump on everybody who comes in after you, but that's a very, very crypto thing to do. So that's going to really start. You're going to start seeing a lot more of that coming up. People are going to, because the party's over for the bulk of crypto out here. So they have to come up with a new scam. They have to come up with a new way. They have to come up with a new hook. They have to come up with a new trick to give you their token in exchange for your hard assets. And I understand Aave and Ethereum and all these are not really hard assets, but considering the state of the market, I consider them very, very hard assets because they're at least more or less holding, and they don't have this excessive volatility that you catch out in most of the other alt worlds. All right, I'll do this one more time, but this time do it with Maker. Ask it, how has Maker been performing over the last 90 days? Same thing, same question. Not a lot of excitement over there. It's just steady financial stuff happening over on Maker. Take a look at them and ask Grok and ask, let's see how it's performed over the last 90 days. I'm literally laying out exactly. I tell you, I don't tell you what to do. I tell you what I do. And this is literally all I do anymore. That's it. I don't need to dive in. I can find the best numbers. AI will tell me what they are. I can go look, I verify, trust but verify, and then I spend the rest of my time looking to see how I'm going to get screwed in this. That's it. That is crypto today, and you need to wake up to this. Everything else out here is more or less floundering, and it's because even the utility chains, people view these the same way that they're going to view just a straight DeFi protocol. Even the utility stuff, your Jackal, your Cash, your Render, so forth, and so your Filecoin, the pure utility coins, they're going to be looking at this the same way. And where they really, really bricked it, most of these things is exactly there is trying to turn their utility product into a DeFi product. And it's not built as a DeFi product. So what they're trying to do, and the end result is kind of more or less laid out in front of you when you look at like the wasteland that is the cosmos. That's it. People tried to get way too cute, and the party came to an end. So as the money continues to flow into crypto, it's not flowing out here into altcoins, and it's not going to. I'll die on this hill. All right, it's not coming. Why? What is the incentive? You can get really decent yields on tokens like Aave, on tokens like Maker, on tokens like Polygon. You can get really, really good yields on these things, pairing them up with either stables, which is my preference. I would much rather be betting on the token itself than having to take the risk of two tokens. So I'd much rather be in there over a longer period of time than I would by increasing my own volatility. Right now, the one thing I'm trying to avoid out here in crypto is 100% is volatility. I don't need to be in there. Belle, what did Grok have to say about Maker?
All right, so as of June 3rd, 2025, Maker's price was approximately $1,823.30, reflecting a significant 16.2% increase in the last 24 hours. However, over the last 30 days, Maker has seen a decline of approximately 21,052% to 29.99%. equating to a loss of $375 to $426 in value.
Okay.
This suggests that the broader 90-day period has been challenging, with the price dropping from higher levels earlier in the year. For context, Maker traded at $1,496.91 at the start of 2025, indicating a slight net increase year to date, but significant volatility within the 90-day window.
Okay, so Maker's been going for a ride. So that's where the additional do your own research come in, and you got to figure out why it's going on that ride. Belle, ask it the same question about liquidity pools. Ask it what is the best yield I can get pairing Maker with USDC, because I understand that DAI is out there. I don't use it. I know UST is out there. I don't use it. The only stable token that I do use is USDC. And the dream and the vision of the algorithmic stable token, in my opinion, is dead. That's never going to come back. It works. The algorithmic stable token will work until you put people in charge of it, or until you put people writing the smart contracts, or until you start putting that onto and so forth, because then it blows up. Because the one thing that we've proven beyond a shadow of a doubt out here is that greed will win out always, every single time. And if there's a chance to blow something up and make some dollars on it, we're going to do it. We have done it, not some of the time, we have done it every time. So I kind of stay away from that. And in my case, I'm going to stick with the USDC. It's not exactly government backstopped, but it's as close as you can get to being government backstopped. So if now that the ethos of crypto is more or less dead, and it is, the ethos of crypto is dead. I was actually having a discussion earlier today with somebody, and they said, oh, no, money's going to come back because the government is doing X and Y and Z. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, we do not see crypto the same way. I got into crypto to get away from the government. But everybody else who's over here, all the builders, all these guys, they couldn't wait for the government to come in and start backstopping all their bad decisions. All the bad stuff they did, that's like grandfathered into their forgiveness, like this wonder, just this complete forgiveness of everything you've done up till now. But now the government's in it, and you're going to do it. You're going to have to mind your P's and Q's. I don't see it that way, and that's absolutely not why I got into crypto. But if it is here, I have to deal with the market that I have, not the market that I want, and that's one of those things. All right, Belle, tell me about Maker. Tell me about the liquidity pools for Maker.
All right, so Uniswap V3 pools is coming in at number 1 for Maker USDC. Estimated APY is 10 to 30% APY, depending on trading volume and price range selection.
Yep, it's a V3.
Recent data suggests Uniswap stablecoin pairs yield 10 to 19% APY, with Maker USDC potentially higher due to Maker's volatility and demand.
Mm-hmm.
The Maker USDC pair on Coinbase showed a conversion rate of 1 Maker to 1,429.12 USDC, with a 7-day exchange rate increase of 36.51%, indicating active trading. Number 2 is coming in with Balancer V3. 15 to 25% APY for Maker USDC pools, potentially higher with Balance Rewards or Aave integration. Stablecoin heavy pools, in other words, USDC DAI, yield 5 to 15% APY with lower risk. That one, Balancer's Aave boosted pools had 1.5 billion in stablecoin liquidity by December 2024, with Maker related pools benefiting from MakerDAO's 2.58 billion TVL. Number 3 is Curve Finance, with an estimated APY of 2 to 10% APY for USDC DAI pools, with potential boosts from Curve rewards or MakerDAO governance incentives. About 1 to 3% additional APY.
Not worth
it. Maker USD pools, if available, may yield 10 to 20% APY due to higher volatility.
Yep, and that's kind of what's happening all the way across this thing. All right, Bella, I want you to look up one more for me. The best yield, I know, typing sucks. The best yield I can find for Ethereum USDC. Nice, easy one. It's these are pools that I'm in, that I've been in forever. I'm a big fan of the V3s. I know I'm alone here, but I'm willing to accept the volatility. I'm always looking to close a position if I can close a position profitably. So when I pair Ethereum USDC, and I'm not in it in Ethereum for like the ethos or it's the new, I don't care. I care a lot more about the next 6 months than I do about the next 6 years, because we're talking about my money. And the bulk of them that I sit in are actually over on Arbitrum. I'll take a L2 over an L1, such as Ethereum, simply for gas fees. It costs me nothing, pennies to make these Ethereum swaps and stuff. But I'll sit over those, sit over in those, and I'll sit over them happy because I get a really, really good yield on Ethereum USDC. Obviously, if there's more trading volume, my yield goes up. But if Ethereum goes up and starts running away, my Ethereum slowly ILs and becomes USDC, and it's what I would have done anyway. So that kind of saves me there. And if Ethereum drops out of range, I don't run narrow ranges. I run moderate ranges. Again, I'm trying to lower my volatility and my risk, and I want to keep the number going up. So I will keep those. I'll keep those in the normal range or expanded range, just so I get something. But if it goes the other way, then all of my USDC becomes Ethereum, but it's a DCA as I'm going into it. So I know this is not. I know V3s are like last year, and it was kind of the hot thing when it came up, and it kind of drifted out of popularity. But for me and my trading strategy and what I do, they work very, very well. Now, all of this yield goes to obviously what I'm doing over here, supporting building apps, paying my developers, paying, the people that I have to pay, and getting an app out the door. So I need to make sure that my money is going to work while I'm doing this. Now, I'm not keeping up. It is a hell of a lot more expensive to build an app than I can earn yield farming, but any little bit helps. And that's like Siggy a treasury now, so I have to be, kind of smart with it. Anyway, though, what do we got as far as Ethereum USDC? What does Grok say? What's hot right now?
Number one, Uniswap V3, Ethereum mainnet, or Arbitrum. Estimated APY 10 to 30% APY on Ethereum mainnet, potentially 15 to 40% on Arbitrum due to lower fees and high turnover.
Yep.
Yields vary based on price range and trading volume. Stablecoin pairs like USDC ETH can yield 4.6 to 19% APY. Next up is actually Aerodrome. So Base Network.
Base is going to be hot, man. It's coming on.
Yep. Estimated APY 20 to 50% APY, driven by high trading volume and potential Aero token rewards. Recent X posts suggest yields of about 5% per day in similar pools on other chains, but Aerodrome's efficiency likely exceeds this.
Yeah, and I'm in 3 different ones over on Aerodrome, all with different risk profiles, and I just churn it. I just churn it over there because, sorry, man, look, base is, you give it time. All right, you give it time, and everything's going to be base. I I like what they're doing over there. I trust the people behind it. They're not going to get sketchy, or at least not too sketchy. They're not going to get like DeFi sketchy, like Chronos sketchy, and some of this other and Cosmos sketchy. So I'm a little bit happier over there, just earning my what I consider a really decent yield for the risk. I'm more than happy to do that. And again, that money goes to paying the bills. So we got to do something here, man. Is Ethereum going to go to $4,000? It has before. It might again. Is it going to happen right away? No. Is anything going to happen out here? No. Crypto is this is as slow and compressed and untrustworthy as we've ever seen the market. Now that's my opinion. Me and Bell have been in the trenches forever. So I like to think that we have the pulse of kind of what's going on out here, and it's not real good, man. It ain't real happy. Trust is at an all-time low, which it should be, because all we've proven over and over again with our new devs, new ideas, fresh starts, fresh looks, all that stuff, is that they're going to bend you over. Just give them time. Let them get their ducks in a row, and they're going to walk out of this with all of your money, and you're going to become a community member. Which is kind of funny, Belle. You notice how that became a slang term now? Community member?
Yeah, I've noticed.
That's what it means. It means you got rugged and you're stuck. So you're now a community member. Do you know why Stargaze has such a large community? Look at the token price. That's why Stargaze has such a large community. It has nothing to do with efficiency or the next big thing or the next big app or can't wait to get on the hub and everything's going to change. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that you are absolutely buried in this token and you have no choice but to become this guy now and a community member because it makes no sense to sell at 99% down. And crypto, man, it is what it is. All right. Anyway, guys, if you could give us a minute, we're going to spin up another song. I hope, Belle, do we have any questions or is everybody just so captivated by us today?
We've got a few comments and questions, not a lot at this point.
No, well, we don't get any viewers either, so we're not going to get an awful lot of comments out of this. But yeah, if you could, guys, I don't know what song's coming up next. I'm just going to hit the break screen and then I'll go spin one up. So if you could, please stand by. We will be right back with the podcast here on the KPOD network, and please stand by. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. And thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Belle, questions, comments, cue them up.
New type. For liquidity and yield, use DeFi Llama. Go to the menu tab and select yields, then type in Aave to see where you can get the best yield.
Yep, lots of different ways of doing it, bro. I've just been using Grok area.
Political, a few months ago, you started a new wallet where you started with either 500 or 1K. How is it progressing through these volatile times?
It was 5K, and the wallet is currently sitting at 7,600. It was up to about $12,000, and then the bottom dropped out. A lot of that wallet was Jackal. I need the Jackal, bro. All right, that's really where it comes down to. I need it to pay for storage because we're launching a storage app, and it's easier for me to do it that way than to continue for what we have going on, particularly for all the alpha testers, because I have to pay for all of this. And yeah, I have a whole bunch of Jackal. Well, and naturally, I'm sure you guys are aware of it. The bottom kind of dropped out Jackal, and I would imagine most of that stemmed from the team admitting that they're selling tokens. It doesn't take much in this space, man. Now, in their case, sure, it is treasury management because the purpose of a token is to borrow from the future to finance the present. The problem is that eventually you catch up with the future, and Jackal's starting to catch up with the future. So the treasury management is starting to hit a little bit harder right now, particularly for anybody who's been long-term holding. I've been long-term holding, so obviously I'm kind of taking it in the shorts right now, but I can't part with anything having to do with Jackal right now when we're on the cusp of, releasing our app. And New Type, I did see your comments, bro. All right, I read, it's my Discord. I certainly read it, and I certainly understand your concerns. But let me put some of these to rest, and I'll go ahead and do it big and bold. If we fail, if we brick it, if Sigia just does not work, we cannot get traction. We cannot hit any kind of inflection point, and it goes under. The only person who lost money on this is me. All right. I own 100% of this. We have not taken a dollar from anybody. A couple of reasons. One, nobody offered us any money. And two, I wouldn't sell any portion of my company before I actually get out and see what my company's going to do. I could not, in good conscience, do that without metrics. We need to know how many users that we're getting. We need to know our growth. We need to know our profitability. We need to know where we're at over 90 days so that we can predict the next 90 days. We need to have all of this information. Now, this is a big problem with apps and crypto in general, because people are more than happy to buy into an L1 because they're like, well, yeah, but in 3 years, it's going to be really cool. And that's crypto. They're more than happy to buy into that. But you don't get that latitude with an app. With an app, we have to prove everything. Every question you asked was a good question. Every concern you had was a good concern. And trust me, bro, I have the same concerns. If you've been watching the stream, I like to think that I've been pretty transparent about all of this ever since we started building this thing. I've been 100% out in the open. This is what we are. This is what we're doing. And this is what we're looking for. We have to treat this like a business. And it changes the entire dynamic out here when you actually have to treat this as a business as opposed to a science experiment like most of crypto is. We don't have that luxury. We have to prove everything. But at the same time, with the heat that I've been getting from Twitter, the heat that I've been getting in private messages and emails and DMs, you guys have to I'm not being rude when I'm not answering you or if I'm not addressing these things. I cannot spend all of my time trying to get somebody who disagrees with what we're doing on board. You're one person, bro. You're one guy. I'm not looking for one guy. I'm looking for 10,000 guys. Now, when I can address that audience, I will spend all the time that they need. But even my time right now has an ROI. I have to be able to make sure that I'm getting a return on my time. So I cannot focus on the individual on this. I'm not selling tokens, babe. We are not selling tokens. We're selling a service. If the service works for you, welcome to Sigia. If the service doesn't work for you, carry on, man. All right, just carry on because I'm not going to have the time necessary to talk to each and every single client. It just doesn't work that way. Microsoft does not shake the can of nickels at every single stockholder. They put out one general statement and say, this is where we're at. We're going to have to do the same thing because I just don't have, I can't spend 10, 12, 14 hours a day answering personal emails about the app, about what we're doing, how we're going to do it, how we're going to get there, our route, our roadmap, all of that. I don't have time for it. And I cannot, I can't give up the potential for 1,000 customers to make one person happy. If we're not the people for you, bro, we're not the people for you. All right, there are a billion cryptos out there, man. Knock yourself out. We're none of those things. We're not even a crypto. We're a service. If we work for you, welcome aboard. If we don't work for you, man, happy trails, bro. Go continue your search, see what you can find. But it makes no sense for me to do something like that. I haven't taken any money from anybody, from any of you. If it bombs, it bombs. And comparing us to Plank, comparing us to Archway, comparing us to all of these other people that took all of your money and now you're sitting there on ashes, I don't even think that's close to a fair comparison. It's not even close. When we get to the point where we need a raise, meaning that we're forced to scale, new type, you're a business guy, and I know you understand what I'm saying here. When we get to the point where we are forced to scale, we have to bring in professional marketing. We have to up our servers. We have to up our staff to be able to handle individual customer complaints because I don't have time to do it. When we get to that point, that we have to scale, yes, we will do a raise, and yes, it will be in crypto. But we have to be assured by our own metrics that we're going to be able to repay all of that money because we don't see it as we're selling tokens. We see it as a loan. You're loaning us capital for us to expand our business. We have to make sure that we are surgical with that we make sure every single dollar is well spent. That's not conferences. That's not booths. That's not places that just simply are not going to get us a customer base. We can't do any of that. So our raise is going to be small and it will be very, very surgical. But the most important thing to me at that time is that we are able to repay it when we catch up to the future and that we're able to repay it with interest. Now, we're doing this a couple of different ways. We're a cash business for all intents and purposes. Once the Astrovault pay rail is integrated with us, we're a cash business. We take cash in and we provide a service out. But that means because we're a cash business that a lot of the volatility that you're going to have in these individually launched tokens are not going to apply to us because we're not selling tokens, we're selling a service. So every dollar that comes in belongs to us. It doesn't belong, we owe nobody anything. So every dollar that comes in belongs to us. We have already decided, and it's in our white paper when we actually do get around to that 30% of all app revenue, 30%, that is 30% of all app revenue is going to buy back our own token because we're not waiting for 18 months before we pay you guys back. We're going to pay you back day after day after day. That's our plan. And it's a good plan, but it's all going to be based on if we can get consumers. Now, Web3 is not the place to do it. It's not even close to the place to do it. This is as murk as I've ever seen any space that I've ever been invested in, and I have played in every market that there is. This is 100% mercenary capital. It has zero loyalty to anything, and it is not going to support apps or your growth. It doesn't look at it as capital investment. It looks at it as how quick can I flip? What percentage can I get? I'm going to bomb off and I'm going to go look for the other thing. There's nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't work for us. It doesn't work for Sigya. So when we do a raise, it's going to be very, very precise, very, very targeted, and the case will be laid out why we need it, backed by all of the metrics that we have. L1s of the past didn't have to do any of this. All they needed was an idea. This will be really cool. And don't worry, 3 years from now, we're going to be profitable. None of them were. None of them were. But we don't, again, we just do not have that luxury. So when we have to get around to it, yes, we're going to launch a token. It's either that or I go to a bank. I'll do either one, man, whatever makes people more comfortable. You want me to go to a bank, pay them the interest, I'll go to a bank and pay them the interest. When we bring in our metrics, they're going to be more than happy to support us. So we can do it that way, or we can bring it back to the community that has just been shattered out here and say, give us a try. Maybe we can do better. Here's our case. Not, it'll be great 18 months from now. We're profitable now. And if we are not profitable now at this moment, we simply will not launch a token. Because if it's just a matter of getting money to get us to profitability, who would give us a loan on that? Who would back that? VCs are not going to touch an app because they have no element of this that they can control. The only people that we could go to for money is right out here. Guys, the 8 people that are tuned into this stream, there's the only people that we can go to when we need it. Right now, we don't. And the only reason that we're going to need it is because we're profitable, we are exceeding our capacity, and we need to scale. That's it. I blew all of my money building this. All right, all of it. People don't work for free out here, anywhere. I blew everything building this. So it has to work. That's it. But again, if it bombs off, it didn't cost anybody anything. All right? It didn't cost anybody anything but me. We're going to make it work. Belle, if you could, please. Or do I need to go to break?
I am going to chime in on that last part.
Okay.
Guys, Scott is not the only one that is paying out the nose to make this app happen.
Oh, yeah, she's broke, man. She is broke.
Not only have I put my own money into this, and I'm in the same position Scott is. Okay, not only have I done that, I can't tell you how many tears I've shed. I mean, for fuck's sake, I should just bottle them up and sell them as NFTs because, hey, there have been that many of them.
You know what, Belle? It's a real world asset. It's a bottle of Bell tears. It's an RWA, man. We're tokenizing them.
I have gotten to the point that, okay, I am incredibly anal retentive over my developers because several of them that have been with us from the beginning have let us down.
Oh God.
I'm the one scheduling appointments with attorneys. I'm the one sitting there. And a funny thing, people criticize Scott. They are forgetting that I'm in this too.
They won't attack nobody's going to attack a girl out here. It just is what it is. You're like one of 6 pair of breasts that exist in Web3, and nobody's going to have a go at you.
But okay, these people are not considering, okay, I have put everything I can into this, and I have pushed my own dreams off and off and off and off and off. This has got to work. I mean, we've got a full-blown business plan in effect. We've got an attorney who is monitoring what we're doing. We've got a board of directors that is not all in crypto to hold us accountable. What more do you guys want?
Oh, and they ain't happy, man. The board is not happy. Every time we have a board meeting, I'm walking in there with ass armor. I'm like, oh God, they're gonna yeah, where are you at? They keep saying, why aren't you launching? It's done. It's on my phone. I'm playing with it right now. Why aren't you launching? And I have to go up to my board of directors and tell them it's not ready yet. And it's not ready until I fucking say it's ready. You want to vote me off the board? Vote me off the board. Go for it. You market it. You get it out there. You realize my vision. This is 100% my wheelhouse. Exactly what I do. But yeah, those board of director meetings, man, they're not fun. And they're coming up a lot more as we get closer and closer. Our lawyer is literally watching the stream. He watches each and every one to see if make sure I don't say anything I'm not supposed to say. I mean, he's literally watches the streams, and I know he's bored out of his mind. You know what, dude? You shouldn't have taken the money. Ha! You didn't have to take us on a client, but you did, and now you're stuck. So, yeah, just deal with it, man. I'm a wild card. I go off on these things on occasion, but it is what it is. But yeah, Bell's a real good indication of how serious we are about this. We're not fucking around with this. And I see this as a billion dollar company. Give us time. Let us get it out. You cannot tell me or suggest to me in any way, shape, or form that privacy is not desired. You just can't. Every single day we turn around, people are getting hacked. People are getting scammed. Data is being compromised. It will not happen with us. It cannot happen with us. So you cannot tell me that there's not product market fit for a privacy app, a personal consumer privacy app, military grade encryption, up and down every single bit of this thing. You cannot tell me that there's not a niche market that will say, yep, I like this. I will use it. I will tell my friends. We're doing everything we can. Now, are we getting support in this? Nope. Not even a little bit of support are we getting on this. This is it. You see that girl right there? You see me? We're the tip of the spear right now. There is, and sadly, there's nobody behind us. That's it. I see effectively nobody even remotely trying to speak positively about what we're doing because we're changing it up. All right, this is not crypto. What we're doing is not crypto, and that's it. We don't get support from the chains that we've utilized. They're under no obligation to do it, and I certainly understand. But if they'd like to drive more business to their chains, we're a consumer app. We will put asses in seats. That's our job, and we have to hustle for this. So the fact that we cannot even get just the least little bit of support from the things that we're integrating is a little bit shocking to me, but it doesn't surprise me. Because people don't want to sell products, babe. Not out here, not on crypto Twitter, not in these things. They want to sell tokens, and we're not doing that. So
I will add in that the only, and it's not a chain. The only crew that is actually supporting us is Astrovault.
Yeah, isn't that funny? The only people that we're getting a hook from is Astrovault, who is also an app. That's just kind of funny. We got to stick together. All right. We got nothing. We got nothing alone, but together, together we're strong. But we're like one of two apps in the cosmos. That's it. The other app in the cosmos that I'm very, very, that I like is OmniFlix. Privacy, decentralized media, censorship proof, all the things that we are, they are. I'm a huge fan. As a matter of fact, we just had a meeting with them today. And we're integrating it into Sigia. It won't be at release. All right. It's going to be further down. They wanted to hold off again because they know how to do it. But that's version .02 stuff. So we're going to push it out later. But being able to interface directly to OmniFlix through Sigia, meaning that if you click one of the videos that you liked and you want to upload it to OmniFlix, click the button, click upload to OmniFlix, and guess what? It's up on OmniFlix. It's Web 2 friendly, Web 2 compatible, browser compatible, app compatible, because OmniFlix also has a super app. But yeah, you'll be able to shoot videos through Sigia, upload them to OmniFlix, and they will never actually touch your phone. I got to give myself a round of applause for that. I thought it was clever. So we're doing that specifically because we want to push content up to OmniFlix because OmniFlix exists on content. Now, let me expand it because I'm not just doing this out of the goodness of my heart. It costs me money to get this integrated because I got to pay my guys to do it. India, OmniFlix exists in India. Who's familiar with India? Show of hands. There's a couple people that live in India. I mean, one or two. And the fact that they have kind of an aggressive, somewhat aggressive government over there, and they're not big fans of privacy, we can give it to them. India has over 1 billion people. We want to be partnered with teams that are operating in India because that gives us exposure to India. If I need to make commercials for my products with native Indian speakers, I talk to them all day, every day. I give them the read. I'll give it to RJ. Say, read this. I'm going to record it. I'm going to, overlay it on a video that I shot, and there we go. We're now pushing videos out in India about our product, about our products. I'm looking real big picture here. If we can make.
And we've got another native Indian speaker that we both actually personally know that, can pop into the studio.
Oh, and she'd be better. I want to use females. I only want to use females for those things. You know why? People respond better to females. It is what it is. It doesn't matter.
Between she and her dad, her dad is also an absolute sweetheart, we've got that covered.
Yeah, but I don't want her dad. I want her. I want a female voice underlaying all these videos. People respond better to it, and they're more likely to click the link. You don't have to learn anything to use Sigya. You don't have to learn a thing. You don't have to know Web3. It doesn't matter. You're using Web3, but you don't have to know it. We have made this as user-friendly as we possibly could. We are not going to put out tutorials. If we have to put out a tutorial, we didn't build it right. This is another thing that differentiates us from the bulk of the world out there. If I was to go up to a random person and say, hey, man, look, you can get 18% on your money with Aave and USDC, man, you should go do that. They're going to look at me like I'm the straw man. I mean, it means nothing to them because they don't know Web3. They don't know wallets, and they're not going to want to have to learn everything that they need to learn to be able to do this and to manipulate this space. They're just not going to. So we didn't build for that. That is not our intention. Our intention is a complete Web 2 facing app using a Web 3 stack. We're going to pull in every single partner we can that are from large areas. India is a big, for God's sakes, they're in Bangladesh. All right. There's a lot of people there. You're going to
We're talking literally the most populated nation on the entire planet.
Yes.
There's something like 1.5 billion people.
Fact check that. I thought it was like 1.2, but I could be wrong. I want to that's a call to action, Mel. I'm learning to YouTube finally. I'm supposed to do that so that people type in the comments. And if they type in the comments, then it increases our view on the algorithm. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, Bell, questions. We had our teary moment. Let's go ahead and carry on.
All right, so Julio FX, I am perplexed by the current state of the market, despite the presence of a purportedly pro-business government. Could anyone provide insights into this phenomenon?
Just scared money, bro. That's all it is right now. Crypto, we were a bubble. I've been saying it since we left the bubble, but we have been a bubble. Now, crypto, your average degen out here, man, look, they are not my age. All right. They didn't live through the dot-com bust. They didn't live through the housing bust. All of this is irrelevant to them because they really weren't a part of it. Those of us who were a part of it know what a bubble is, and we know when a bubble ends. Crypto was a massive bubble, and the bubble ended. Now, what always happens after the end of a bubble, it happened in 01, 02, it happened in, 08, 09, is the financial products that start to come into being after a bubble are extremely complex. They are very, very hard to explain. They're extremely complex, but just trust me, bro, it's a good deal. Now, we went through that. We went through that with Thorchain. Boom. We went through that with Kajira. Boom. We went through it with Crescent. Boom. We went through it with all of these other dexes up here that thought they could simply game the system. And they exploded because all the capital left. Because people, smart money, knows what they were in and they know what they saw. All right. It was a scam. They were in it for the top. None of this shit was sustainable. They got as much money as they could. Why they could, I know I did. And then once the bottom drops out, they're not there anymore. They're moving because they got used to the yield, same as I got used to the yield, but they're moving over into top 50s, top 30s, top 20s. And you can see that up and down the board. They moved real heavy into Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the talk of the town, even though for all of the talking heads up there that are talking about the new money and all that, very little Bitcoin is actually self-custodied. Most of it is sitting there on your BlackRock, on your Grayscale, on your Coinbase, on your Binance. It's sitting there on centralized exchanges. That's where the bulk of the Bitcoin is. People are not sitting there storing it on wallets. All right. The Ethos people are still doing it, but the Ethos people completely sold out because they realized that they could flip their Bitcoin and make money with it. So along come all the leverage platforms. Same thing that we have out there in TradFi. We're bringing it back over to here. So you're trading synthetics versus other synthetics. You keep going on and on. You hope it kind of works out. And the funny part is that Bitcoin is in such a manipulated state right now. It's a little bit shocking to me that anybody's levering up Bitcoin. It is clear that this stuff is being repressed, suppressed, or expressed. One of these three things are happening depending on where it is. There's only so much Bitcoin that's out there right now. It's controlled by a small percentage of people. And if Michael Saylor decides he wants Bitcoin to go down $6,000 a coin, Michael Saylor can do that instantly. If he decides he needs to go up $6,000 a coin, he can also do that instantly. Why would you lever in a market that is controlled? But that's what you wanted because it brought up the price of Bitcoin at 6+ figures. It's the stablest currency in the world, right? Even though it's up and down 3% all day, every day. But it's the stablest currency in the world. It's a fugazi. All of this shit is a fugazi. I believe products are what are going to come out of this. Right now, we're still in the very, 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 very confusing financial market, which again is always what develops after a bubble, and it doesn't matter what kind of bubble it is. A lot of money was created. People want to keep it in the market, churn it, churn it, churn it. So people dream up ways to entice you to keep it in the market. My opinion, that's all Bitcoin is, because it ain't a currency. What is one of the staples of a currency? To be traded, to be used to purchase goods and services, to be portable, all the other things. But you're really high. I got to sneeze. I can't mute that, guys. I'm sorry. I don't have the mute button here. I can't cut off my mic. But the ethos of the Bitcoin Maxi is buy it and hold it. By you buying it and holding it, you've just removed the currency from cryptocurrency. Therefore, it's not the way you see it. You want to make it go up, you want to see it big, $1 million, then it's got to be usable, tradable. And right now it really isn't. We can trade it for USDC. We can trade it for other things, but it has no use outside of that market. Therefore, by definition, it's not a currency. Anyway, just that's my opinion on that. Bell, please carry on.
All right, so Fish chiming in on X saying, yeah, laugh out loud, Cosmos sketch.
It's, yeah, man, it's dead, dude. Like, man, we've tried. Everybody's tried to bring it back, tried to save it, tried to change the world with it. All we do is double down on stupid out here over and over and over. What's our big answer right now? Adam's floundering. There's no direction. ICF's taking over. And yeah. What's our big answer there? Hold another conference in the Balkans. That's it, because there are so many. When is anybody going to call this fucker out? Because it seems like you guys, the whole world has no problem jumping all over anything that I say. But if your Laughing Boy Cryptocito says anything, suddenly it's solid gold. When are you guys going to wake up to this shit? All right, he's a party planner. That's what he is, a very, very well-paid party planner that harvests chains through his validator set. But you got to be shitting me that all the money you're going to lay out for this big conference, you couldn't handle this via a Zoom meeting and not spend shit. All of these active developers that we cannot wait to get them onboarding onto crypto, they all live in the Balkans. You got to be shitting me, man. Do they not have internet there? They can't see X. They can't send emails. These whole things are a scam, man. And the party's coming to the very, very end. How much money will be pissed away there? You need to have an ROI for a conference. If Bell and I go somewhere and we set up a booth because we need people to download Sigia, we need to go to the right place. We need to make sure that we have the throughput necessary to get the downloads to cover our costs plus some. That's what we have to do, because we're not playing with house money. We're not playing with endless money. We're not playing with, don't worry, we fucked it up, we'll just do it again. We can't do that. When we do it, we have to make sure that we have tons of traffic, that we can get people to download this app, that we can get an ROI on the spend. All right, you don't do that with a Cosmos conference. We were out in Dubai. You remember Dubai, Bell?
I do remember.
How many people were there?
Not as many, not nearly as many as I would expect to cover the costs of everything they put out money on.
Were there 400 people there?
No,
there were less than 400 people in Dubai. Less than 400. And most of them were founders. Most of them were community managers. Most of them were people that are already completely familiar with the Cosmos. What are you doing there, man? What is the point of you being there? What is the point of that conference? That was a beautiful hotel. It was a well laid out thing. They spent tons of money to make that, to host about 400 people who all knew each other. What's the point? That's all I'm saying on that one, Bell, is what is the point? You were there. You saw it, same as me.
I was there. And you know what? I think I need a career change, Scott. I think I need to actually become a party planner. And
you know what? There's no stress. There's no stress in that field. It doesn't matter if it's successful. You control the narrative. You can say it was an overwhelming success and we made $80 billion, even though you can't prove any of it. Nobody's even going to fucking ask you. Yeah, that's the job. I mean, that is the job of Web3 is right there. Party planner.
I mean, you know, I could easily tag in Mike and we can put on a hell of a big show and, you know, not even have most of the people leave the U.S.
Shit. You know what? We can get Chris in here. We can get Chris in here and say, hire a camera crew, put them together. We're going to turn it into a movie. All right, Cosmosverse, the movie. It's a 90-minute runtime. It'll be beautiful. We got everything there. We got free actors. It'll be fantastic. I can do that. I can get him there for $25,000 with a professional director, a full camera crew, riggers, sets, everything. I could do that for $25,000. And you got a keepsake, which I'll tell you what, we'll turn it into an NFT. Cosmos 2025, the event of the lifetime. And you got to buy the NFT to watch a video, and we'll sell the NFTs for 99 cents to try to recover it. But it'll be professional. It'll be edited. It'll be shot as a movie director shoots it. It'd be great.
I mean, Mike knows how to advertise. I mean,
Mike knows how to advertise. Yeah.
I mean, he can tag team with me and get over 7,000 people through the gate for a weekend.
And we'll just call it Cosmos Fair. Faire, because we're old English. Cosmos Fair. We could do it for 10% of what you're paying to do it in the Balkans. We can do it right here in the U.S. And guess what? People will probably show up just because it's fun. Anyway, carry on, Belle.
All right, so Suits coming in on X. Slayer.
Okay, I got nothing for that.
That was a song request, dude.
Oh, Slayer? No, we're over time. We're not going to get to that. Brother, I'll tell you what, we'll get it next time. All right, I was like 15 years old when I bought my first Slayer album. And it was Slayer. I went like window shopping, man. I got some Slayer. I got some Corrosion of Conformity. Who remembers Corrosion of Conformity? Anybody? Yeah, that was one of my stay-tos, or one of my go-tos. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Carry on, Belle.
All right, new type. Scott, are you using PaxG anywhere? I want to find a platform that'll let me take a loan against my tokenized gold.
I am not currently. But I'll tell you what, bro. I'll find you what I consider a good place to do it. I like PaxG. Obviously, look, man. I'm not a big fan of paper gold. I just want to make sure that you know that I do own gold. It's in my gun safe, protected by me. So if you want my gold, come correct. All right, that's all I'm saying. But I'm a big fan of that. But I don't like paper gold, man. I don't like synthetics. But in this case, it is probably. It's a very well-performing token. I understand why you're asking that question and what you want to do with it or do about it. That's actually a fantastic one, bro. I'll find you an answer for that, and we'll get back to you. Belle, carry on.
All right, so Idiot Fish on YouTube. Yeah, he's going by Fish on X and then Idiot Fish on
he confuses me, but he's always high. Idiot Fish is always high. He comes on, dude, I got this answer, but I'm really stoned right now. I admire that, man.
You know what? The Fisherman, I'm going to rename him right now to the Fisherman.
That's
He's
easier.
Always cool.
Yeah. That guy's great, man. If you were homosexual and I was, dude, we'd be a match, dude. All right, we'd be great. I got to be the top, though. It's nothing personal. It's just how I roll. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bill. What was his question?
All right. Anyway. Anyway, Jackal is starting a new pool on the concentrated liquidity side of Aerodrome.
Yep.
Do you think this will attract more LPers?
Eh. You know, they got a real uphill road to hoe. The problem with Jackal, and it's been like this for about 2 years, is you want to be, once you actually have a product out, such as the Vault, all right, such as Jackal Vault, you're going to have to be about 80% distribution, 20% innovation. And Jackal kind of did that the other way, man. They've been about 95% innovation, and they've made some great shit, and about 5% distribution. And if nobody knows the great product that you made, it may as well not exist. All right, look, Betamax. Whoever my age, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Betamax was wildly superior to VHS, and by every measurable standard, Betamax kicked the ever-loving hell out of VHS. But everybody had a VHS. You know why? Distribution. We can go up and down the line on this, man, about the good product. Linux should be on everybody's machine. It is wildly superior to Windows, but it's not, because they can build a great product, but they don't know how to distribute. That's a problem. Windows knows how to distribute, therefore everything is fucking Windows. This is, you have all of these perfect examples of this, of distribution versus innovation. Now, innovation is the heads down building thing, but once you've done and built and you have a product, you need to distribute, you need to market, you need to get it on the lips of every single person out there. And Jackal simply did not do that. And I'm not knocking them, man. They like to build. They like to find new ways of doing things, and I think it's fucking fantastic. I'm leveraging the hell out of it. But this is crypto, and the squeaky wheel gets the grease out here, and they just have not been squeaking. So that's kind of been their issue for a couple of years. Now, is it going to pick up traction? I don't think so, man. I don't think so, because to this day, nobody knows about it. They're still not marketing. They're still not hitting it. They're still not incentivized. I'll tell you what, anybody right now, Flex is going to be integrated on thing. They're locking it down right now. We're just waiting for the return email. Anybody who signs up for the Sigia protocol, regardless of storage size, anybody who pays with Flexa, I'll give you 30% off right this second. Anybody out there who will pay with Flexa, I will give you 30% off of our rates, and I'll do it for a year. For a year, I will cut 30% off the cost of our service, and our service is not expensive, but I will cut 30% off anybody who uses Flexa. See, that's distribution. That's marketing. That's getting it out. That's call to action. That's all of those things that you need to do. Jackal just didn't do them. Now, they have time. They're starting to change it around. I saw Patrick made a post today. He said we just made the desktop Dropbox available over on Base. That's that's nice. You want to plug it. You want to get people talk about and compare yourself to products that people are familiar with. The entire world knows about Dropbox. Nobody knows about Jackal. So you want to make those associations. So they're starting to pick up. You're waving your hands. Did you have something to add there, Beth?
No. I'm good. I'm gesturing because you're right.
Because I am. I'm fucking
point.
Always right. All right. I'm the Scott. All right. In fact, you have to call me the Scott from now on. When you're typing something, I have a question for the Scott, and it needs to be capitalized. Scott, because I'm right about virtually everything.
That's not going to happen.
You have to call me the Scott too. So when you have to say, okay, I got a question for the Scott. That's what you need to do. All right. Look at. Look, I'm wearing a T-shirt. It says ThePodocasts. My face is on it. All right. Anyway, carry on, Bill.
All right. So, John, what is the concentrated liquidity side of Aerodrome?
I haven't even looked at it yet, bro. I don't know. I'll take a look. I'll let you guys know Thursday when we're back on. Carry on, Bill.
Okay, so John, again, over 600,000 tokens unstaking the 5th on Jackal.
Odds are good that they're going to be. I don't know, dude. All right. And before that used to really, really bother me. Right now, 600,000 tokens is what, about 30 grand? Go for it. All right. Whatever you're going to do, you missed your window. You're going to collect about 13% staking over on straight staking on Jackal. But the numbers are pretty big over there on Aerodrome. So anybody who wants to pair up with Ethereum, I personally think it's a smart pairing. That's where I'd put it too. So if you're on staking for 13%, right now with the rate of decline of Jackal token. I don't know if the team's still selling. Nobody's asked. If you do, I'm sure they'll answer it. But with the rate of decline, you're going to have to earn one hell of a yield to be able to, chase in your delta neutral on this one right now. So it would make sense to me if you were pulling that off to move it over to Aerodrome or just dump it. And again, they probably would have wet my pants earlier. Now it's 30 grand. Go for it. You're not really going to crush the token price too much. Go ahead, carry on, Bill.
I mean, and I'm going to tag on to that point. I mean, with people, it could just be something as simple as people want to pile into that pool more.
I would.
So it could be the Jackal team's wallet, because they have to provide a certain amount of Jackal tokens to keep the pools balanced. That way payouts to people in the pool can happen.
See, and I'm actually pulling, I'm not unstaking anything. I have enough liquid Jackal floating around all my wallets, but yeah, I'm going to move it all over to Aerodrome. I want that APR, man. Look, I got to make up. I got to earn, right? So yeah, I think Jackal's providing about 5% of that, and the rest of it is being provided by Aerodrome. So even if it's paid out in the Aerodrome tokens, I got no problem dumping the Aerodrome tokens. I got people to pay, Val. What are you going to do? Carry on, please.
I know, right? All right, John, I'm trying to get tokens over to Aerodrome, but cannot get Satellite to show my tokens on my Ledger Kepler wallet. What am I doing wrong?
John, I'll make you a video tomorrow. All right, I'll show you step by step. I'll make a video. It'll be done real time because I don't edit. I've always said that I don't edit like I'm somehow morally superior. You know why I don't edit, Bell? Because I don't know how, and I don't need to learn a new skill. All right, if it gets that big, I'll pay somebody to do it for me.
And I don't have the time to learn how to video edit. I mean, let's face it. It's selective laziness on my part. I will find someone who knows how.
And I don't know how. My brain is full. All right, I've reached max capacity. So if I learn anything new, I have to forget something I might have needed to know. But John, I'll shoot you a video. I'll move some tokens, bro. We'll do it step by step, me and you. I'll post it up on the channel. It'll get 12 views because our channel is dead. And but yeah, that'll answer your question. I sure hope it does. Belle, please carry on.
All right, idiot fish. It's a 10 on the Bella rant.
It's a 10. Oh yeah, Belle killed it. I don't get my rants anymore, but I'm starting to get away from them because honestly, look, I have to move into CEO mode or COO mode or whatever the fuck I am. I don't even know my title, but yeah, I have to start mitigating those a little bit because we are a professional company. We're out there. We're up in front of everybody, so I have to cool up a little bit. And so the rants will probably start going away. But I got the bell. So if I need to lose my shit, she can lose her shit on my behalf. We don't get any defense out here. None. We are absolutely on an island. Nobody jumps into our defense. And even when we make Siggy a wild success, all we're going to get is, yeah, but. That's it. Every single comment will be, yeah, but. Well, we just signed another place. We got 35,000 additional consumers that are going to be using Siggy month over month. We have a service level agreement with company X, Y, or Z saying that they've agreed to pay us over our offering rate so that we can give them, certain guarantees. Won't matter. Yeah, but. Yeah, but that's crypto, and that's what Bell and I have been dealing with out here for years and years and years is the yeah, but. Never a, hey, well done. Good job. That's great. I like that you're bringing crypto to the masses without the masses knowing that you're bringing crypto to them. We never get that. We get, yeah, but. So, but I don't have to lose my shit anymore for that. I got Bell to do that. So, anyway, go ahead, Bell, or comment.
All right, Amp Night. Crypto is the .com bubble part 2. There are millions of tokens compared to 2017, and people still believe most of the alts will 20x, 50x, 100x.
They're dead, bro. I mean, we said this shit 2 years ago. You can go back. We don't delete videos. Everything we ever said is up there on YouTube or X or somewhere. 2 years ago, we said there ain't going to be no goddamn alt cycle. Oh, no, you're wrong. You don't know. There's cycles. It's cyclical. Everybody knows that. I was like, yeah, and that's why everybody's going to get fucked on this. Because when everybody knows it, guess what that is? That's called propaganda. Rule number 1. The rule of unanimity. That's the thing that fucked crypto more than anything else. And it's kind of funny because all of these were coined by a guy named, I think it was Friedrich Goebbels. If you guys are familiar with him, he was Hitler's minister of propaganda. He told you how to do it. He laid it out. The 5 rules of propaganda, they're laid out right there in front of you. And one of them is the rule of unanimity. That means that, when everybody agrees with something, it simply must be true. It's not. So we were out there 2 years ago saying there ain't going to be no alt cycle. You're fucked all the way down. If you're not in cash now, you're fucked come when we start to get to the deeper part of it. And here we are at the deeper part of it. And guess what? Oh, most of you are fucked. We tried to warn you. We went out there. We were alone on our island. But the problem with that is also when you're early. Belle and I are early. All of our content is early. And when you're really, really early saying anything, you're insane. When you're slightly early, you're insightful. So we have the backbenchers, and I know because I throw little catchphrases into my show, in Belle's show, and we throw them out. We talk about them. We structure them so that I say them just right, and then we monitor social media to see where they show up. And most of them show up word for word. When it's something really insightful, it shows up word for word in somebody else's tweet. But there's no risk to them at that time because now what we're talking about, people are starting to see. And when they see it, now you're just a little bit early and you're insightful. Not like the crazy people that were doing this shit 2 years ago. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, man. We're the bridge is burned. You can't unring that bell. We're going to carry on. Anyway, look, Amp Night. Dude, I'd post on your Reddit, but I'm banned from it. I'd post on your Discord, but I'm banned from it. You may or may not have wallets that are integrating Flexa or integrating the AMP token or listing or whatever, but you're selling tokens, dude. You're not selling products. We're selling products. I have reached out and begged this community. Help us help you. And we have gotten dick. Absolutely nothing. Now's the time. All right, if anything's going to save AMP, and it ain't going to be us alone, but we're the proof of concept for you. But I can't even post about it on your Discord. I can't post about it on your Reddit. I can't even talk up my own product. And from what I understand, and I know that I'm right here, we are the very first consumer app that's going to integrate you. That's going to integrate the Flexa SDK. And we have got nothing but crickets from your entire community, bro. What do I have to do? I just offered everybody in your community, and that's a Reddit that has about 45,000 members, 30% off. 30% off if you help yourselves and use our app. And it's $1.99 a month, babe. We're not banging people on this. $1.99 a month, I'll give you 30% off right now, put you at about $1.40-ish. I'll give it to you that. I'll give you that for a year if you pay with Flexa. Sure how else I can really do for this, but I still get no support at all. I'll never get it from Flexa. I don't expect it to. They have much bigger visions because it's easy to sell the vision 5 years from now. We're going to be in good shape. It's easy to sell that. It's very, very hard to sell metrics. We're going to have metrics. That means the app is integrated. These are how many consumers we have, and this is how many people paid with Flexa. We're going to have solid metrics. Now, if they are really, really bad, I give you my word right now, we won't post them. We won't even talk about it. If they're really, really good, we will. But if they're bad, we won't. I'm doing everything I can right now to try to entice community. So we're kind of hoping on this. Anyway, Belle, carry on.
All right. So, Fisherman, I'm officially changing your name there, by the way, Fish. So you are now Fisherman.
I agree.
All right. Didn't he mess up payments for that party and pillow fighting on a yacht? Perfect.
Oh, yeah. You remember that? It was a transfer of like $125,000 worth of Atom. And they used a dead wallet. And the money just vanished. It just poof, $125,000 worth of Atom tokens, and it just went away. But it's okay because they had more money. So they just sent it again, and they sent it to the correct wallet. But yeah, there's $125,000 worth of Atom that's just floating around out there in the ethers that is completely unrecoverable. It goes to competence. That's, I'll just kind of leave it there. Anyway, Mel, whatever's left, let's go ahead and wrap it up.
All right, so Yeah, Idiot Fish did chime in saying it's been Idiot Fish for so long, and I'm sitting there okay, I know you've got a new one. And yeah, I mean, it's not like that can't change at any
Yeah,
time.
you
You
know
just have
what?
to do something bigger.
You know what, dude? I gave Toot $50 worth of amp to change her name to Toot, and she did. I'll give you the same offer. All right, you're not Idiot Fish, you're Fisherman now. I'll give you $50 worth of amp. Worth of amp because that's just funny to me now.
All right. So no. I am gonna make a point here. Yeah, not this weekend, but the previous weekend, my own son's handle changed from fetch to kung fu.
Do you want to tell him why it's Kung Fu now? This is not the right stream for that, but we'll talk about it.
No, it's
We'll talk
not.
about it Thursday, maybe if we're a little bit liquored up. Anyway, Bell, whatever we got left, go ahead and roll them out.
So G Torres coming in with the last comment saying, "I'm here for Sigia no matter what."
You know what? I hope so, bro. I hope we can do some good for you. You know what we can do? We can protect your data. That's it. That's what we can do, and we can do it in cloud form. Nobody's done it yet. Everybody pays lip service to it, but nobody really means it. We really mean it. Yeah, that's it. That's what we can do for you. So if it's important to you, we're a good app for you. If it's not important to you, hopefully all the other features that we're integrating make it more appealing. We cannot compete directly with Dropbox via privacy because, yeah, most people don't care. The niche markets care, and they'll pay a premium for it if it's actual, and we're actual. But we can't simply exist in the niche. We can't exist out there on the borderlands, man. We've got to get into the inner sphere here, and the way we're going to be doing that is with nifty features. Make it neat, make it fun, make it solve a problem that you didn't know you had. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to do it at a reasonable rate. So if that sounds interesting to you, Sigia. If it doesn't, there's plenty of alternatives. Stick with the iCloud. They love your data. They exist on your data, so go ahead and stick with them. Anyway, that's it, Bell. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. It was a good show. I'm sorry you cried. I'm sorry that people saw it. We'll do better next time. We'll stay in more friendly, fun territory. But till then, Belle, please talk us up, take us out. It's been wonderful, guys, and we'll see you next time.
All right. So everyone who joined us this evening, we cannot say thank you guys enough. Idiot Fish, I did see where you said, okay, keep the amp, I'll change it. So you have been officially rechristened Fisherman.
Yay!
I'm cool with that. Yay! Anyway, with that being said, we are going to be back on Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. In between now and then, if you guys have any other comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to Scott or myself, Scott at ThePodocasts.com or Bella at ThePodocasts.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, we can't thank you enough, guys, and we'll see you next time.
We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at ThePodocasts. Also, visit our page